want to give you an overly simplistic, simple model. It's like a checklist. It's like, okay, I want to change my body. I want to change my relationship. Where do you start? The first step on your path is what do you really want and why do you want it? Clarity is power. If you know what you really want and why you want it, that's different than the earlier conversation, which is telling me what you didn't want. You make no progress focused on what you don't want. So you have to start with what do I really want? And most importantly, the fuel is why you want it. And you have to have strong enough reasons to actually follow through when it gets uncomfortable, because it's going to get uncomfortable. And that's the first step. If you said I want something and you can't tell me what you want, that's where we need to start. You say, I don't know. Okay, great. Here, I'll help you. I don't know what I want in my business. I don't want anyone for a profession. I don't know what I want for a relationship now. Great. If you really don't know, let's try this. Let's describe the job from hell, the job you'd never want. Describe the relationship from hell, everything you'd never want in a relationship. And you know what happened? There's an energy in upset and anger. And when people start writing with that energy, they get flow. Most people can tell you the problem, plenty of detail, just like she did. And then they write it all down what they don't want. And I say, okay, now look at that piece of paper and write the opposite. And you have the job from heaven. You have the relationship from heaven. So we can get you there. If you don't know what to do, get up in your body, change your state, and you'll know what it is. The reason you don't know is you keep saying, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, which conditions you not to know. It literally blinds you. So that's the first step in anything. And if we get to somebody and they're unclear, we're all gonna go, if they're not on the path, first step to the path, do they know what they want and why they want it with clarity? Is it strong enough? If it is, they're on the path. If they're not, you're not even on the path. Second step. And by the way, there's 7, but the first 4 are the most important. The others just give you momentum. The second one is you got to find and face the truth. Because the truth will set you free. What does that mean? You got to be clear and honest about where you really are compared to where you want to be. How many of you have some areas of your life where you are not where you want to be? How many some areas where you're actually doing great? You're proud of where you are in that area of your life. The only way you improve once you know what you want and why you want it is to tell yourself the truth about why you're there. In other words, describe the gap with clarity. Where are you compared to where you want to be? And then the second part of that is you got to close the gap. In order to do that, you got to get clear what's gotten in the way in the past. And that's basically what I did with each of these people I was just talking to, if you listened. What's gotten in the way? It's a fear, it's an emotion, or it's a limiting belief, and that belief is made up of language, physiology, and focus. In case you haven't noticed, they're all made up of those 3 things, so we can change any of those and change the belief. Or is it a skill you're missing? You manage your finances, but you don't have any skills in there. You don't know how to invest. You don't know the basic principles. So the way you face the truth that'll set you free is you figure out what stopped you in the past. And there's only a few things. It's a set of emotions, a set of beliefs, or a set of habits or skills you're missing. And I'll tell you, 90%, at least 80% of the time, it's the mental and the emotions. Because if you have the right beliefs and emotions, you could get the skill. And if you tell yourself the truth there, now you're really on the path. Now you got momentum. Then what's the third step? Improve your business, your finance thing. You're gonna resolve and create a map. A map is a massive action plan. And you don't wait till you know the perfect thing to do. You just simply sit down and say, okay, what's worth trying? What can I do right now? Not, I'm gonna wait, spend 20 days to come up with a map. No. This is a massive action plan. What I'm gonna do now? What are all the ways I could get to the result I want? You brainstorm them all. And you're not gonna do all those things. So you're gonna come back and say, what are the 20% of these things that'll give me 80% of the progress? And those are the things you go do. And you do one of those immediately. You don't wait till it's perfect. And by the way, if it doesn't work, what do? Try something else. If that doesn't work, what do? How many times do you change till you get what you want? You heard me share this with you before. How long do you give your average baby to learn how to walk before you shut them off and go, dude, you're not a walker? What are you, crazy? My kid's gonna keep trying till they walk. That's why almost everybody walks. We need just a quick map, a quick piece. What are 3 things you're gonna do? And I'll say that to many of you afterwards. Tell me 2 or 3 things you're gonna do out of this, so I know you're gonna take not just the understanding what's stopping you, but you know what to do. And then the fourth one, and these first 4 are the majority of it, you gotta do what's hard. That's what everybody tries to avoid. You gotta slay your dragons. So the dragon, hers is fear. It's not even her husband, it's fear. Her dragon is, she wants all of her love to come from her daughter because it's safe love. If she had other forms of love in her life, she wouldn't be in this fearful place, right? So she needs to slay her giant. She needs to change what needs to be changed. It's a belief, it's an emotion, it's a pattern, it's a habit. It's all it is. And we're gonna do that this week. Or you go get the skills that are necessary. You do the hard work. Again, why does Steph Curry make shots from half court make it look effortless? Because he's done it 2.5 million times. But all the shots he's ever taken in his career is only 16,000. And he's made only 3,000 of those, and he's the greatest shooter in the history of the game. That's what it means to do the hard work. If you're not doing the hard work, you're not going to get the result. It's not enough you know what you want. It's not enough that you know what stopped you or you got a good plan. You got to do that plan. You got to go make it. You got to get the result. And when you slay the dragon, you will transform. And the dragon is almost always an emotion or a limiting belief. Now all you do, you go to step 5. You want to keep the momentum, you need a daily practice so that now there's something you do every day that keeps you moving forward. Some kind of daily practice that'll guarantee progress. Progress will lead to what you want. And then 6, once you do that, you just need to keep raising the standard a little bit. Get a little better, demand a little more. And by the way, you can only do that if you measure things. If you're in business, if you don't measure it, you're not managing it. If I take over a company, I got 111 companies now. How can we run 111 companies? Because I go in those companies, I figure out what are the most important things, and I measure them more often. It's the first thing I do. Some people measure things once a year, so they have bad years. If I only measure once a month, I'm gonna do 12 times better. I got 12 times to improve it instead of 1. You might have bad months, but you're not gonna have a bad year. If I measure it weekly, you're not gonna have a bad month. If I measure it daily, you won't have any bad weeks. Some things, when I first take over a company, I'll measure them 3 times a day. And where focus goes, energy what? Flows. So you have to measure what's going on. Am I making progress? And then raise the standard. I expect a little bit more from myself. And then the 7th step, you're there. The 7th step in all this is really simple. You're on your path. Flip it up there for everybody. But now what you're gonna do is you wanna celebrate it, right? Life's a gift, so you wanna celebrate and you wanna appreciate where you are. Because otherwise you're always trying to do something. It's good to stop and celebrate because the brain goes, it was worth it. And if it's worth it and I'm celebrated and I build on success, guess what the end of the step is? You're gonna pick what's the next level. You'll start this again. What do I want now? Isn't that cool? Oh, what's preventing me from getting that level? Okay, what's some quick actions I could do that? All right, what dragons do I need to slay? And what I'm gonna do? What skill? Okay, all right, daily practice, keep measuring it, win again. This is how you do it with anything. How many of you have an area you've done really well within your life, an area you're proud of? This is the game for anything. So if I want to know whether I'm on the path or not, and I don't even know what I want, I'm not even on the path yet. I start there. If I know what I want, why I want it, great. What's the next thing? Let me figure out the truth. What's the gap? What's kept me from where I am? What's gotten the way in the past that I need to handle? Okay, let me create a quick map. All right, let me go slay that dragon. Let me get some daily practice. Let me keep raising the standard. Let me win again. This is what I do in all the areas of my life. And it's so simple. So it's in your relationship, that's true. If you go, I don't have the relationship I want. Well, I got to start with, what do you really want?